was what's the last it got.
All right, so we're back on. We're talking about the Fairy Dragon Steel Core. Neither of us want to talk about this. Move on. Psychic Fighting Dark, Azelf, Infernape, Sneasel. Thoughts?
It's solid. The speed tiers are
Yeah, it's really fast.
115, 115, 109. Unless I'm mistaken on that, but I'm pretty sure those are right. So that's
yeah, something like that. If not, you're very close.
so that's if I like that or not, but good for you, I guess.
Yeah, I always underestimate Azelf. I know everyone really likes it, but I always forget that it's like this really good, really fast mixed attacker. Like I always sleep on it. I always think it's like Pixies, where it's 100 in every stat, but no, that is not the case.
I've had some experience with Azelf. It's tough to use to a lot of effect, but it fills a lot of roles and can do a lot of things. It's a fast stealth rocker, which I mean he has an Infernape as well, but it's can set up a little bit. It would be so much. Trio got recover. I would like them so much more.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I mean, Azelf is the one that's least worried about recover.
Yeah,
but it's tricky to use to a lot of effect, especially because typically it's in the same tier as Alakazam. Typically, I find Alakazam's a little bit better. This Azelf definitely is more mixed and has better coverage, so it depends what you need, but I find you tend to...
And I know his backup for if he didn't get Azelf was Alakazam.
Yeah, I know.
I probably would have reversed them.
They're always going to be compared. They're always going to be compared.
Yeah.
I think everyone I've ever heard say they've drafted either was debating the other one as the backup. Like...
Let's see what other things we got here. Surprisingly, like this seems like a really good offensive team, but it had the least attack power, air quotes. But like it's not offensively lacking. It just didn't score all that well. We had a very offensive draft as a league. So this was just the lowest one of the bunch. It's still super offensive though.
The most setup there either.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's just how it scored. I thought that was interesting, so I was gonna bring it up. I was surprised because you and me know Sketch really well and how much he loves his bulk. I was surprised he was in the bottom half of bulk, even though this team seems really bulky to me.
He has a bunch that are bulky, that are not.
Yeah, Ninjask, Electivire, Sneasel all pulled it down for sure.
Yeah, and even Azelf and Infernape there too, and even Nito's bulk stats are not that good.
Yeah.
But he has Wish to put into Selly, and into Giratina. He's got Shaman as a cleric, as well as a bit of a wall itself when it wants to be. Giratina, scary, bulky, and Celesteela, but it's not. He doesn't have that like just gross, you hate it. In Clefable, Cresselia. I mean, by the end of the year, maybe Selly, Vaporeon, Giratina is that, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a really scary team to look at. Go ahead.
The Vaporeon and the Celesteela sharing the the electric weakness is a bit tough for it.
Yeah.
I know he has things to cover it, but like needing Vaporeon to help out Celesteela a lot when it wants to be really bulky, and then having a shared weakness.
Yeah, it's tough to share a weakness between your Wish passer and the one that wants the Wish the most. Because people are going to be ready for it. There's going to be electric coverage on every team now because of that, for sure.
Coming.
I mean, with that said, though, he's got Motor Drive Electivire and Nidoking, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, like he can play around it. It's just he's got to be ready for it and got to be in that mindset the whole time.
This team, I know it's gonna sound weird because he scored so low in attack. I think Queen fits his team better than King, because it can take those wishes, and it's gonna be a lot.
Yeah, I
It's
agree
a
with
lot
that.
bulkier, a little better hazard stacking, and he has a lot of fast offense. So I think Queen would have fit this team. Like, it doesn't make that big of a difference, but maybe from 7.8 goes to 7.9. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. I think NATO Queen was a better fit than NATO King, for sure.
So you get points.
Alright, and so Sketch gets a 7.8. That's pretty good. It's one of the highest ones we've seen so far. We'll go ahead and move on here to the last team.
Just a sec, can we go back?
Oh, yep, we can go back. Go for it.
That's so high.
What was that? You cut out a little bit.
So high.
You,
I'm
you,
missing. I don't.
I just keep
Magic
hearing
bounce
so high. What's the first part?
so high.
Yeah.
Removal. Why is his removal ranked 10?
Oh, there you go. Oh,
Not a good remover. Mega Diancie is Mega Magic Bounce, which is okay, but it's not that good. And Giratina, I'm assuming, gets defog?
it does. So that's what it was. Diancie with Magic Bounce, and the fact that Giratina was like, I think when I like punched it in my equation, it was like almost guaranteed to be able to get a defog off. That really helped it.
Defog. And Mega Diancie's not good removal. And he has no Rapid Spinner. So if he wants to stack,
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
don't think his removal should be that high. I don't think he has good removal. I think that's a flaw of this team. Anyways,
All right, yeah, and like I said, there are some things that like my equations definitely don't pick up on, but at the same time, they've been pretty good at measuring like, oh yeah, this team was good at doing that.
my
Uh,
first time seeing them, so my reaction is to make fun of them.
yeah, and that's fine. All
I'll
right.
keep this a secret. I haven't seen any of this.
I know, and I kind of wanted a blind reaction because of that sort of stuff. So you could be like, "What the heck?" Um,
Like my synergy score.
dude, trust me, I was so confused on your synergy score. I was like, that makes no sense to me. I was like trying to tweak. I tweaked the equation for that one for so long, just trying to get you out of last place, and for some reason, it just wasn't happening.
Let's talk about a team with number 11 in synergy, even though I don't think it has good synergy, being the Badoofs.
Well, the thing is, it has contradicting synergies. Yeah, so Buffalo Bidoof, coached by Bidoof. We have Groudon, Mew with a Z, medium Z is allowed. Excadrill, Rotom Wash, Houndoom, Mega Houndoom, Z Venusaur, Escavalier, Tyranitar, Conkeldurr, Leavanny, Swoopat, Alolan Executor. Go ahead, first thought.
I love the Venusaur. I mean, I like Venus. I love Venusaur. I use Sun a lot. I use a lot of weather. I love Z Venusaur. It's on a lot of my favorite teams right now. So I haven't used it much in singles, I admit, but the fact that you can run Sun, stick a Gracium Z on the Solar Beam, and if things go wrong, you still have that Bloom Doom that you can click. And you
Yeah,
don't need a second grass coverage move, I think is huge here.
yeah, I totally agree.
I love Groudon, Mega Houndoom, Venu. I think that's a great Sun core.
Yeah.
But the rest of their team is not a Sun team.
Yeah, so like especially, and you've pointed this out to me before we even started talking about this. Leavanny and Escavalier being 4 times weak to fire in the sun is a problem. I almost think like he's got the sand mode. I almost think those two guys aren't allowed to come unless he's doing sand mode 1 week.
To drop his sand mode for rain mode.
I don't think he's got enough transactions to be able to pull that off. To be totally honest, but I agree that would be better. I think.
Yeah, I think you would need one more because those are both tier 1s, T-Tar and Excadrill.
They are. So you'd have to drop both of them and pick up 2 tier 1s each, and then maybe use the third one to drop like.
Yeah, Pelipper, Poly are both tier 2, right?
Yeah, so I mean, you could always end up with 60 extra points and make your third transaction a 60-point upgrade, which is totally cool, and you can totally do that. Um,
I love dual weather teams, but
yeah.
you don't sand and sun typically don't mesh that well, and I think this is a case of seeing that. Typically, sand and hail work better together, and sun and rain. Um, my opinion, I don't know. Maybe I'm probably gonna get some angry comments about that, but they have better synergy. I do like his sun core. Um, I think Mew is real good for this team, just to help things out.
Mew's good on
Good
any
removal.
team.
I mean, that's true, but I mean, it's good removal. It's in a decent speed tier compared to the rest of the team, where it can set up and do some things there as well offensively when it needs to. Yeah, and I think it's got the right coverage around it as well. In Conk and T-Tar, I think helps out Mew as well. That's a pretty good core. I've kind of talked about multiple cores here now, but
Yeah, go for it.
Rotom Wash is a good water type to have on a Sun team. It's hard to find a good water type for a Sun team. Rotom Wash isn't a terrible one. It's an odd one, but it's not. It's pretty solid because it.
As far as water types on Sun teams go, it's probably one of the best ones.
Yeah, like it's not so worried about. It helps with your ground type weakness, and it doesn't really worry about its hydro pump very much.
Yeah, it just wants to toxic and paralyze and burn things anyways.
Yeah. Much type redundancy. The Leavanny and Alolan Eggy, I get why both of them are here, because webs and harvest, and dragon type, I guess. But I think that type redundancy is a little too much for Mons that does get chlorophyll, but it's not gonna be your.
It's not going to be your Sun Sweeper for sure.
Say people sleep on Leavanny's offense a lot, but it's not a sun sweeper really. It might help it get up webs
Yeah.
even faster, but I don't know what Swoobat does.
Swoobat
I know
is simple Calm Mind, is what he likes to do.
but not in draft.
What's that?
In draft,
I mean, I don't know if it works super well. I know it likes Heart Swap too. Um, I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen it, but at the same time, I could see it working and maybe being a good tier 5. It's really fast, and after one Calm Mind, it's got a really respectable offense. Um,
is it?
what do you mean?
Oh, is it fast?
Yeah, it's like 114.
I thought it was like 80. Okay,
No, it's
okay,
114.
it can stay, I guess. I don't know. I feel like that was the time to go be Barrel. If you wanted to go simple, go be Barrel. If your name's Bidoof, go be Barrel.
That's a good point. Why is there no barrel on Bidoof's team? I can get behind that. Um um so I mean
Attack balance is really low.
oh yeah, the attack balance being really low. It was really physical.
Yeah, I was gonna say that looks pretty physical, except for his two kind of weather sweepers.
Yeah. Um it was really physical. The other one I wanted to point out was is the synergy score on this was the 11. It got that because it had weather, it had got like 2 times bonuses off that. I think I even gave Mew weather bonuses, not because it can like sweep in it, but like it can boost both moves and stuff like that. Um,
I
yeah,
feel like I found a flaw in your synergy math. Anyways,
I I
never
I
mind.
I, I think Mew is the only one I would put in there weather wise that wasn't like a weather mon. Um,
The jury, I'll shut up now.
it's all good. Um,
Shut up in DMs. That's still going down. But
yeah, that's fine. You can DM me all you want. Um, attack balance was really low. Z captains. Okay, I really like the Z captains here. They scored really low because I don't know. I think Venusaur's like stats wise, it got pulled down a little bit. Like its offenses pulled it back some. These are still really good Zmons. I don't have a problem with these Zmons. They're just like not the biggest like bombs like we saw in all the other ones teams. Like Dialga was at least a huge nuke that you could drop on someone. I'm trying to think.
Chlorophyll Z move is good. Nasty
Yeah,
Plot / Sword Stance into Z move of any coverage ever.
yeah, exactly. Like these are good Zmons. It's not that they're bad. It's just we had really good, strong Zmons throughout the whole league, even when they were questionable choices. I think these were the right choices for this team. I think they were good choices. Just comparatively, they seem a little bit weaker. That's all it is. I think they're still great.
I'm curious your thoughts because I know you love this mon. I'm curious your thoughts about it. What are your thoughts on Escavalier here?
Yeah, I knew you were gonna go there. I love Escavalier. I really love Escavalier in draft. It's a really great budget mon. Usually, we have it in tier 4, I believe. On a Sun team, no, I just can't do it. Maybe if your other mode was Trick Room, I could do it. Like if you were Sun in Trick Room, okay. But
Oh, he does have Trick Room.
does he? Oh yeah, Mew sets Trick Room. Yeah,
Alolan Eggy is who I was thinking.
yeah, okay. Maybe it's
I
not so
like
bad.
the Sun Trick Room.
I'm
But my
perplexed on
issue
it.
with it is,
Let's say that.
I keep staring at it, and half of me is like, "Hey, fix this to build around it," and the other half's like, "No, drop it. You redundancies are real." Because he has Conkeldurr as a Trick Room sweeper, as
Yeah,
well as Alolan Eggy to a point. Um, type he has the Steel type. He has a physical Steel type and a physical Bug type, nonetheless. And he has the Trick Room sweeper, so I feel like that's where he could probably get some more value, but. Oh, I don't know. I think it's in a tough spot.
yeah. It
Cavalier.
like I love Escavalier. It's one of my favorite Pokemon, and I use it as much as I can. Every single RU team I have has Escavalier on it. It's the auto pick in RU for me. Um,
You should trade him Ludicolo, and then he can drop his 2 power by itself, drop Alolan Executor, or not Alolan Executor, drop Excadrill, and pick up Politoed, and then he's got Rain as well.
but then I need a water Pokemon. I didn't get a water Pokemon.
Cavalier though, man.
I know it's certainly calling to me, and I staring at me in the eye, and I'm like, oh god, I wish I drafted him, but at the same time, I don't know if it's the best fit for my team. Um,
But I'm just saying you should do it.
maybe I don't know. We'll see. Maybe if I get a good value trade out of it. But yeah. So
Sabotaging my weak opponent on air with him. It's great.
yeah. The thing is that I'm tempted to do it still. 'Cause it's just Scavalier's the boy. I love Scavalier. Um, yeah, like especially if you get a Scavalier with Wish. It's crazy. Like,
I got drafted. Incineroar didn't get drafted. I almost took it. It was in the plan for so long. Oh, I'm sorry, Incineroar. You should be drafted. You did so well last season.
he really did. All right, so Bidoof. Coach is now salty that his mascot didn't get picked, or his favorite Pokemon didn't get picked. Bidoof, you got a 5.8.
Man.
Bidoof was a pretty good score. So we're gonna move on to our final rankings now. So I took all the grades, I lined them up, highest to lowest, and these are your, I guess, your power rankings. I wouldn't call them like, I didn't like count coaches in these rankings, so don't take them like super seriously. Like I know some coaches are really good and they didn't get such a good team. Like Crypto's grade was really low, but I know Crypto's really good. Um, Stuff like that. They're not really paying power rankings. They're like draft rankings. So, or like quality of draft rankings. So here we go. We'll go top to bottom. The Illusionists were 12. I think they were 4.5. I better pull up a list just so I can say everyone's. I meant to have them, the actual grades
Yes,
themselves on this page. Um,
4.5, yes.
yes, 4.5. And then crypto with 5.4. Bidoof with a 5.8. Splurge with a 5.9. So that was really close. Grape had a 6.1. Sumami had a 6.3. Kurt had a 6.7.
It was actually a
Coach,
tie.
yeah, but okay. So what his was is he was 6.66. So I rounded to one decimal. So he was 6.66. You were 6.73. So you were actually higher.
Kurt, I tried to get you that 5th place rub, and no, he wouldn't let me. I tried. Let it be known.
Bash was a 6.9. Sketch was a 7.8. That's the biggest jump in all the rankings. So there's a big gap between 4 and 3 there. Easy had a 7.9, and I had an 8. I'd like to say that Sketch, Easy, and myself were only separated by 3 points when you added all the totals up. My final score, if you just added up all my scores, was 120. Easy had 119, and Sketch had 117. So they're all right there. Do you have any thoughts on this list here?
If only you had given me the right synergy score.
Dude, I tried so hard. You have no idea. I spent like 4 or 5 hours trying to get you out of last on this synergy because I felt you deserved it. But everything I tried put you as last.
I could feel the trigger in your voice. That was great.
Dude, you have no idea how stressed I was about this. I was like, Coach is gonna rip on me for this. Like, he is such a good synergistic team, and he got last place. No matter what I do for like 4 or 5 hours, he just kept staying last. I was like, oh man. So I mean,
Incineroar, I
good.
shouldn't have upped my synergy. I should have just left it with Incineroar. Anyways,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Um,
Um, most important question of the day, though.
go for it.
How many spy ninjas did you see?
There was a lot of them. I lost count. I was trying to keep count while we were going, but I lost count.
I'm putting my guess at 19. Every
Okay.
page had at least one, and there was 2 on a couple, and there's 5 on one.
Okay, so I think we're 14 slides. I'm gonna go ahead and say 21. Someone tell us in the comments. I'm not gonna go back and count
13,
them.
14, 15.
Oh, is he counting them now? Okay, we'll stay tuned for a couple seconds.
It's 20.
20?
Oh,
Oh,
no, I'm staying at 19. I'm staying at 19. That's my final answer. I'm done. It's my
oh.
favorite number anyways. We're staying with it.
All right. Let us know in the comments, guys, how many there were. We lost count. See you guys next time. Have a good season. Remember, these rankings aren't everything. Prove us wrong. Any final thoughts, Coach?
Prove you wrong about my team synergy.
Go for it. I want you to. I told you 5 hours. I wanted to give you a better grade. All
All
right.
right. Have a great day, everybody.
Have a nice night.